to a new episode of Cardinal Film Fights. I'm your new host, Stephen Mason, in the flesh. It's not just a rubber mask. I get that question all the time. Today we will be having 3 brand new competitors to the show. I don't know if they're actually brand new. They could be store-bought. They could be gently used. Who knows? Just a reminder for those who may have forgotten, our show consists of a minute-long opening statement in which the fighters give their statements about a given topic in movies. And the rounds will consist of a certain topic in movies, television, various media. And after those 1-minute opening statements, they will be given 5 minutes for all 3 of them to fight to the death with their opinions. And then after the fight to the death, all 3 of them, still alive, will be given their closing arguments. And at the end of the round, we will be seeing my judging skills as the best of the best. And I will decide who has the opinion of the best and who has the opinion of the rest. So, without further ado, I will introduce myself as judge and host, Stephen Mason, and then I will introduce the rest of the pack, some losers, I guess. So, moving first, we have Ben, the first one. Ben Nelson?
Yes, that is my name. Don't wear it out.
Okay, so Ben, give us your name, major, year, favorite color.
All right. Hello, my name is Ben Nelson. I am a TCOM major. I am a sophomore here at Ball State, and I would have to say my favorite color is blue.
Okay. Moving right along, we've got Noah Allen.
So my name is Noah Allen. I'm a freshman TCOM major, and my favorite color is blue and green. I can't decide, so.
You lose. And we'll round it out with the second Ben.
Hello, my name is Benjamin Keith Bartlett, or they just call me Ben. Mm-hmm. And my major is telecommunications, or as you all call it, TCOM. And this is my first year in Ball State.
Mm-hmm. Seems to be a running theme. And the correct answer was fuchsia. None of you got that right. 0 points. So, moving right along, we will be going into the first round with bated breath and a whole lot of anxiety. So, here we go. We'll be jumping from the black and white of comics up to the silver screen. So, it's best comic movie, and we will start with Ben Nelson.
All right, so the pick I have chosen for best comic book movie is by far and away 2014's surprise smash hit, Guardians of the Galaxy. Absolutely no one saw this movie coming. Absolutely no one thought it was going to be any good, especially of how good it was. This was a complete shot in the dark for Marvel Comics. James Gunn just really knocked it out of the park. Who knew that Chris Pratt would look that good ever, especially with all his years on Parks and Rec? Who knew that Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel as a raccoon and tree team-up would be the single smash hit of summer 2014. Absolutely no one could expect how good this movie was going to be. It was a complete smash hit. It broke box office records, and it was just an overall fun time, and I just really enjoyed it.
All right. Guardians of the Galaxy. So next up, we will have Noah Allen.
So I chose Scott Pilgrim versus the World because it is a great movie, and it's one of the Edgar Wright films, and just the whole film. There's so much in it, and there's so much to see, and so much that every time you watch it, you catch something new, and it really just captivates you, and I think it's also really closely related to the comic books, but I mean, there's still going to be like a little off, but it's just a movie, so I think Scott Pilgrim versus the World is a good movie.
Scott Pilgrim. And we'll round it out with Ben.
My guess is I will have to pick V for Vendetta for best comic book movie. I mean, V for Vendetta obviously is based on a graphic novel by Alan Moore with some sort of partner. I think it's Dave Gibbons. But what the story was mainly about is mainly about an unknown protagonist or masked man named, which they call V, which is his plot for the whole thing during a fascist movement in the United Kingdom where he bombed some government buildings because he believes that the government should be afraid of its people. And with the woman being part of this, where she learns what V had taught her, how horrible it is, how they just persecuted innocent people for
V for Vendetta. Lot to say. Okay. So 5 minutes on the clock. Get ready to rip, get ready to tear, and get in there.
You want to go first?
Well, absolutely no one saw Guardians of the Galaxy coming, and well, Scott Pilgrim was a good film. I'll give it that. Like, there have been tons of fans demanding that movie for a long time, and yes, it did get it right. But like, absolutely, hardly anyone ever read Guardians of the Galaxy when it first came out in the 70s, and no one has read it basically since the movie came out. So James Gunn made the single biggest gambit in Marvel Studios history in making this into a live-action adaptation, and it just blew everyone's expectations out of the water. While as those two movies, I honestly think hit expectations for fans.
Guardians of the Galaxy was a great movie. It does have better rating on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb than Scott Pilgrim does. But after researching a bit, Guardians of the Galaxy was they took a lot out from the comics and from the movie. Some examples I have are like, so Gamora, in the comics, she was saved by Thanos to help defeat Magus. In the movie, she was adopted, and she only kept her skills and her green skin. Nebula, in the comics, is a space pirate on Thanos' ship, and her look is completely changed from in the comics. And in the movie, she's like half cyborg. In the comics, she said that she has like a long blonde hair. So, and Scott Pilgrim versus the World, it does, vary from the comics. But I mean, they are movies, so you can't get all of the comics into the movie, and I understand that. But Scott Pilgrim hits a lot of the big points, like the girl, her that changes her hair. In the comics, her hair changes 8 times. In the movie, it changes 3, but it still gets that point that she changes her hair. And I think also the movie takes place in a week, but the comics take place in a year. And then, of course, it's just an adaptation of the comics. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I got.
Okay, so we've heard Guardians of the Galaxy, Scott Pilgrim. Let's hear about what makes V for Vendetta the best comic book adaptation.
Well, after I saw the whole movie, I even did some research on V for Vendetta. I mean, mainly there was analysis even from that movie. Like, it could deal with some political stuff, even of what we face today in the United States of America. I mean, if we ever face this sort of happening, like America will become a fascist nation, what can we do about that? I mean, will that ever happen to us, or will it happen to any other nation that believes in democracy? But mostly, the story was just sad and beautiful. I mean, and I could see why. I mean, with so many innocent prisoners being taken against their will. My heart bled for them. I felt their pain because mainly, I felt like I'm one of them.
Heart-wrenching stuff. So, what makes Guardians of the Galaxy the best?
Well, you two said it yourself. Scott Pilgrim is a lot of fun, and yes, V for Vendetta is very sad. Guardians of the Galaxy, yes, it is recognized for being by far one of the most fun Marvel movies to date, but it was actually one of the first movies, like possibly in a decade, to actually make me fully cry, especially at the end when Groot makes that cocoon before the final battle and just makes that glowing firefly scene. I shed a tear for the first time in possibly like 5 years. I am a cold, hard soul, by the way. But like for the first time in like so long, I actually cried during that scene. And I had a lot of laughs too. So it takes both of your worlds perfectly and meshes them together so perfectly.
5 seconds. You want to say anything else? Anybody?
Anything else I have is just some awards that Scott Pilgrim won. So.
All right, then we'll move on to closing statements, and we'll go reverse order. So we'll start with Ben on the end.
About V for Vendetta?
Yep.
All right. The closing statement is that, yes, Guardians of the Galaxy was good because I seen it too, not in theaters, but when it came out, and I may not seen it, but I could agree with you on the Scott movie. But for V for Vendetta, all I had to say, it is truly amazing.
Yeah, I feel you. Right here. That's the esophagus. The heart's right here. And then we'll go to Noah.
Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is a great movie, and I feel that Edgar Wright has knocked it out of the park with this one. It's won quite a few awards for Best Director, Best Film for a musical or comedy, and then it also got nominated 3 different times for Best Screenplay Adaptation. And I'm out of time.
Comes to the best of us. And we'll finish out with Ben.
All right, Guardians of the Galaxy, yes, it does mix both your emotions together perfectly. It is funny for most of the movie, but yes, it is sad. It did make me cry for the first time in a while. And the only thing I can say more is its box office knocks both your movies out of the park. Yes, Scott Pilgrim did underperform, especially by those standards back then, and V for Vendetta, yes, it did make money, but it nowhere made nearly as much as Guardians of the Galaxy, and no one expected it to reach that point ever.
Well said. All right. Anything? Oh, yeah, fact checker. What do we got?
Everything seems to check out.
All right. No fake news here. So for the verdict, let me get out my calculator. Okay, so for first place, I'm going to give it to Ben. You had a lot of good points. You defended it well with your unexpected success that Guardians of the Galaxy had. I really believed that it was the best summer movie of 2014, and you defended it well. Second place will go to Ben Bartlett. Your defense of V for Vendetta was heartfelt, and I could tell that you really enjoyed it. And Noah, you're going to be in third. I thought that while you did think and establish that Scott Pilgrim was pretty good, your defense was a little lacking, but not too bad, and I think you can recover. So, yeah, that is Best Comic Movie. So just to recap, Ben in first, Ben in second, and Noah in third. You're getting beaten by the Bens. Might as well just change your name, Noah. So enough. That will do it for this round of Cardinal Film Fights. Be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube page just down below. And for all of us here at Cardinal Film Fights, we hope you have a good day, a good night, and we will see you next time. Thank you.